Thomas, I didn't know you was gonna call me out about the birthday parties, Pastor. But that's okay. I'm a Christian. But I really, really thank you guys for inviting me and having me. I'm so excited to share my story with such beautiful women, you know, and we gotta come together and make it an even conversation about everything. Because it takes the older women to educate the younger women. So we need you guys. If we don't have you guys, we're lost. You know, so we need to bridge the gap where we can have an open conversation about everything. Amen. So I thank you guys for having me, and I'm gonna start off with a question because I wanted them to play the video. So y'all just work with me, okay? Are y'all familiar with breast cancer?
Yes.
Let me ask that again. Are y'all familiar with breast cancer?
Yes.
Okay. Do I look like I had breast cancer?
No.
God's amazing, ain't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 27. Right. It was a very, very challenging time for me because at the time I got married, graduated from Tuskegee, 25, getting ready to do my new life thing, ready to get this budget together, introducing to different money, more income. So life was going really well for me. Brand new marriage, and just had my daughter, and things just kind of went down. I married my next door neighbor. I still love him to death. We divorced. Praise God. It's always something better. We divorced, and it was unexpected. We had a daughter named Rose. She's my everything. And it all happened so fast. It's like kind of riding a roller coaster. You know how they take you up the roller coaster slow? Before they get ready to tell you, they don't tell you how hard that drop gonna be. They just tell you to put that buckle on and hold on. They don't tell you where you're gonna go after you get down there. So I got up that roller coaster thinking everything is lovely. I had a lump. I was at work, and I said, dang, I got a lump here. This don't feel right. I wasn't a big breasted woman. I had really small boobs. You know, so I said, but you know, we're one women. We gonna keep this table open.
That's it.
I'm pretty transparent. So you have a question for me, I answer. You know, but I had a lump, so I asked my boss, and she was an older woman. I said, this feels look all right. I said, you know, do women supposed to get bumps in their breasts? You know, she was like, well, Raquel, you're so small, girl. I don't know. You know, don't worry about it. So I didn't think anything about it, but my sister, she's an OT, and I showed it to her, and she said, that does feel a little funny, you know. I said, you think I should tell my OB about it? You know? So I told my OB about it, and he was like, Raquel, you know, that does feel a little funny, but you know, women your age don't get breast cancer. You know, you're too young. You know, you don't have to worry about a mammogram or anything until you're at least 40. At least 40 now. I said, well, okay, I'm gonna go back to work, and I'm not gonna worry about it. But you know how they say that inner spirit, when God tells you to move, and you need to move, I was like, this don't feel right. God didn't put this in my body for me just to keep moving. So I went back, got a second opinion. My doctor then said, we're gonna send you to someone else because that lump is a little hard. So I said, okay. So I went in, then the next doctor said, she said, well, Miss Smith, you're too young for breast cancer. That don't happen to women that age. You're just 27. We're gonna go ahead and just remove the lump. I said, okay, go ahead and get this out of me because everybody's telling me I'm too young and I ain't got to worry about breast cancer. And I'm trying to get my life back up before I hit this, what I said, that drop, right? Okay. So then I go in and I have the procedure done, and they called me on a Wednesday. They said, Miss Smith, you'll be able to go back to work in about 10 days. I said, okay, good deal. They called me on a Wednesday. I had what they call a lumpectomy. Anybody familiar with the lumpectomy? Okay, I'm gonna let the younger women know just in case they don't. A lumpectomy is where they go in and they move a small mass out of your breast. And this is where they go in, they test it to see if it's cancerous or non-cancerous. So I had that small lump moved. Next thing you know, I got that call on a Wednesday. And she said, Miss Smith, we need you to come back into the office real soon. I said, okay, everything fine? She was like, yeah, we just need to talk over some things. I said, okay. So I told my mom to come with me. She came with me. We went to the office and we sat down, and the doctor came in. Her name is Dr. Smith as well. She came in, she said, well, we gotta talk about some things. She said, I said, what's wrong? I said, I got breast cancer. She looked at me. She looked at my mom, and she said, yeah. I looked at my mom, and all I could see was my mom putting her face in her head, in her lap, and just crying. You know, she said, not my baby, not my rock, not my rock. I said, oh, wait a minute, Mom. Whoa, wait a minute. let's see what she's talking about. You know, let's see what she's talking about. I said, we ain't finna clock out right now. My daughter was on 2. You know, so I said, we ain't finna clock out right now. Let's just see what she's talking about. She said, well, it's very aggressive. She said, 6 months to a year, it'll be on your chest wall and in your brain. Wow. She said, if we don't move in the next 10 days, it's spreading through your lymph nodes now. I said, oh, Jesus. Okay. So I looked at my mom. Keep in mind, my mom's still crying because she's not understanding. She's thinking this is a disease that an older woman has to deal with. I never had a mammogram. So she wasn't expecting this type of news. And I looked at my mom. I said, Mom, hold your head up. I said, y'all made me rock. I said, y'all made me rock just for me to go through this. I said, we're going to rock this out. I said, what do we need to do? I said, what do we need to do? What is the next move? She looked at me, she said, you're not crying. I said, no, I ain't got time to cry. I said, my baby's 2, and I just got divorced. I'm looking for my Boaz man. With this, but we're gonna have to remove your breast. What you gonna give me? That was my next question. I said, I shook her head. I said, well, what you gonna give me? She said, well, now technology is great. We can give you something that looks just like it. Nobody won't even know. I said, never settle for wooden nipples. She said, sometimes you gotta put your big girl pants on. And that was the first time in my life I realized what big girl pants were. You know, I had to stand up. And at that moment, my life went down that hill, down that roller coaster. Next thing you know, she said, well, Miss Smith, you're gonna have 6 months of chemo, 3 months of radiation, and then we'll start to finish up your surgery. I said, oh. I said, that's a lot. I said, I'm gonna lose my job? She said, you're not going to be able to work. So then it hit me with the budget. I lost my income. I lost my insurance. But still I rise. At the end of the day, she told me, she said, well, I'm glad you have a daughter because you may not have more children. She said, chemo's so strong that it messes with your eggs. So it's hard for you to produce more children. I said, hold on, Dr. Smith, wait a minute. I said, let me tell you what God told me. And she looked at me crazy. They call me a walking miracle in Brookwood. She looked at me, I said, well, God showed me a son. I said, I may have 2 more children. I don't know. I said, I ain't got this man yet. I see more children in my future, you know. She said, well, I'm not going to go against what your religion told you. She said, but I'm just telling you the statistics. I went through chemo. My hair began to grow back. So people kept asking me, because I was silent about my story. I really didn't want people to know. Because as Pastor B was telling you, I used to have the parties. I couldn't let everybody know I was the one about to be gone from cancer. You know, it didn't go with my stilo. So I was like, wait a minute, I got to figure this out. So she said, well, your hair's going to come back. I said, okay. I said, God, if you bring me my hair back, I'll do your work. And those were my exact words. I couldn't believe how my hair grew. I had people coming up to me saying, girl, who did your sew-in? How your hair come back so fast? What you use? She said, what did you do? I said, hey, it was God. I said, I had nothing to do with it. I told him what I would do if he brought me back. I went through chemo, going through radiation. I had to stop radiation immediately. Y'all ready for this one? I was 2 months pregnant. Not only at that time, not only were my breasts removed and I was going through reconstruction, I had life in me. Then God began to open up my eyes. He said, I give you life and I give you life more abundantly. You told me you do what you're supposed to do on your end on earth, and I'll give you all the riches. Not depending on the job, but what you do for your people. You know, so once he got to manifest that to me, I got them new boobs. I said, ooh, it done made me over again. Okay. I started figuring it out. Then I said, I gotta touch women. I gotta educate women. I said, because we are the ones dying from it. We are the ones at the lowest statistics from it. You know, and we're the ones that are not surviving. So then God gave me a vision. I wanted to recycle. Everybody said, girl, what you doing with all this plastic? I said, God gave me a vision. Habakkuk 2:4, write it down for the vision to be plain. For her to run with it. He gave me that vision. So I started recycling. Next thing you know, my neighbors had plastic. Everybody in my community started saving plastic, looking at me crazy. Come on, Raquel, what you doing with this plastic? I said, well, I tell you what. I have this organization we're going to start called Pinktopps. Pinktopps.org. Save the plastic to help save a life.
All right.
Now with this plastic, every plastic donated, I reached out to Waste Pro. They thought I was a little different. They said, you got a lot of plastic. What you doing with this? I said, I need y'all to come pick up this plastic for me. She said, well, do you want us to give you some money for it? I said, no ma'am. I said, I want absolutely nothing. She said, well, what you want us to do? I said, help us fund mammograms in the state of Alabama. She looked at me. She said, well, you know, plastic, it takes a lot of plastic to accumulate that type of resource. I said, you know what? I got a lot of it. So when she started seeing the overflow of the plastic, we started continuing saving plastic all over the state of Alabama. Now we help fund mammograms for women under 35. And if you're over 35, we work with Jordan Life. And they fund free mammograms and free Pap smears for women over 35. So this is now we having an open panel discussion where we can help the young and the old. Because one thing is definitely, they don't respect no age. I've talked to women 19 with breast cancer. I brought a survivor with me today. She was diagnosed at 25. You know, so if we don't educate each other, and if we don't get each other to get their checkups, do their self-mammograms, know when to do a self-mammogram, and if you need any help, Pinktopps.org is here. Definitely. So did we get that video on?
Yeah, they got it.
Oh, good. Okay. See, I told y'all I can talk now. I don't mind talking. So I'm going to share this quick video with you just to give you a little more history of it. But it's awesome, people. And if everybody get involved, the state of Alabama could save a lot more lives with breast cancer. Absolutely. Thank you so much.